how to have a healthy money mindset. Now, what is this and why is it important? The generation of wealth in our own lives is inherently going to be connected to an abundance mindset that we have. If we're talking about real wealth, that is, we have to keep in mind that wealth is something that we generate from within. Whatever it is that we're talking about, whether it's health, wealth, relationships, it starts with the inner game. Our beliefs, our experiences, our values, ultimately aligning them with a higher vision of what's possible for our own lives. Keeping this at the forefront, understanding what is actually possible in our own lives. Like, are you being honest with what you actually want? Keep these questions in mind. Like I said, there are certain foundational principles that underline everything, but with this, we're really talking about mindset. Perhaps we will get into more financial principles in the future, but this is ultimately what most people struggle with. Our inner game has usually been hijacked by our past beliefs, experiences, and ways of being. While you're listening, I want you to evaluate if the way that you relate to money and wealth is affecting other areas of your own life. Like receiving abundance in anything. Just like if someone gives you a compliment, are you able to receive it or just shrug it off, right? So ultimately being rich in spirit doesn't lead to everything else that you want. How do you feel about money and rich people? The thing about abundance is we must celebrate the thing that we want. Like, how do we expect to ever get the thing that we want if we're kind of shunning it and kind of basically telling the universe that we don't want it? Like, if we want to get big muscles and we're kind of have this jealous energy of people that have it, then we are much less likely to actually get it. Because those type of energies don't allow you to have the actions put in place to make your dreams a reality. So how do we actually start to build this money mindset? Like I already kind of said, start with our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Aligning our inner game with what we want is the first step. And it starts with awareness, like being aware of what you actually believe, how you think, and how you act around it. So ultimately, this is about empowerment. Infusing ourselves with the capabilities to make shit happen. Once you have awareness, you can start to ask more questions like, are these things actually serving me to my goals, or are they holding me back, right? Just simple stuff, but nobody really does this, unfortunately. And that's just more of the matrix programming, honestly. Look, thoughts lead to feelings, which lead to actions, which lead to results. Be, do, have. Most of us have a lot of reprogramming to do if we want to get the results we actually want. Believing that we're actually worthy of these things and what we want. Look, I need you to dream beyond all measure and take action with abandon. You only have one life. And are you willing to settle for average? Less than you're actually capable of. Don't just say it's all for those people over there. No, you are it and you matter. It starts with 100% responsibility, understanding that we are blocking the abundance in our own lives. Not necessarily to say it's our fault, but it is our responsibility because ultimately no one can do this for us. And what we don't realize is that by overcoming these challenges and obstacles, we build the character and fortitude to keep it and grow it. These challenges are just here to overcome. Once we flip that perspective on it, then we start to become a victor and not a victim in our own life. Don't ever say that you can't afford something. Ask how you can. It's like someone who's overweight and they're just complaining that they're fat. The thing about that is no action is going to be taken, so no results will come. Also, it's very important to learn about money. I find that most people don't actually study it and they wonder why they're struggling, just like anything else. If you want to be great at anything, you got to make it a study. Learn from books, podcasts, seminars, mentors. Things like that will help us get to the next level. Once we replace the old knowledge with the new from people who have actually walked the path, then we will get different results in our own life. We must stop being a victim and saying that this isn't for me. No, it is for you. You just got to claim it. And stop listening to people who don't have the results that you want or don't have the goals that you want. Understand you got to listen to your own truth as long as it's connected to the truth and take action from there. Next section is altruism. So being rich is not just about wealth, it's a spiritual pursuit. How, you may ask? This is because someone with a dream of changing the landscape of health on the entire planet through podcasting, speaking, writing, has the ability to create change on a massive scale. And the more people that you help, the more that you will get paid. Mentoring individuals and just helping more and more people. It is through the forging of one's character that you develop these skills. Because success is something that you attract by the person that you become. This ain't no game. I'm trying to get a bag. Secure the bag is a principle I like to talk about. Everything I do is work toward a better future. And it was what is beyond possible in our own lives. When you walk your path, you will get paid one day or another. Freedom ain't free. Being a boss requires that you know who you are, your standards, and your values. You stick to them, and you stick to the plan, knowing that success is inevitable as long as you stay with who you are and have repeated action toward a worthy ideal. Look, having a spirit of abundance, I want people to win. I want to see my people win. I want to see everybody get beyond their circumstances, right? It's not just about me, it's about having a better planning. That all starts with all of us, like being the model and the change that we wish to see in the world. It starts with us and our families, and then we expand that outward. Doing what you can with where you are and what you have, because what you have is always enough, and we can grow from there. So investing is the last section, and it's another thing that we're just not taught. So why is this important? It's about generational wealth, right? Legacy for generations to come. I talk about generational health, right? Like we want to have healthy generations, but also it's about abundance in everything. And challenges are the way to this. Like we have to overcome, we have to become. There are many forms of investing, and just like diet, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. It really depends on where you are and your goals. The investing mindset is a whole nother thing, but it would benefit us to adopt a stoic approach, which is basically staying calm through adversity and making sound decisions with a sound mind. This is because it requires a lot of mental discipline, and this goes more in the personal development realm, which is what I'm sticking to for this podcast. Like, what are you investing your energy into? What you focus on tends to expand. Then we expand that outward. Look, wealth ultimately starts with us and having a spirit of service. Understanding the mission is more important than the current circumstances. A lot of people just don't have that drive these days. That's unfortunate. Not by accident, though. So we get in touch with who we are, what we're meant to do, and just getting after it. Let's fucking go.